Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming.
Hey, I just got a notification that Kat the Nurse Flipper is on.
Woohoo, Kat! All right. I'm going to put it up here because it's the first comment. John, again, for more income, says when we get to 100 likes, within 20 minutes, he will donate more memberships to people. So hit that like button. And John also dropped everybody's channel links. John, you are amazing. Thank you so much. Richard is not here tonight. And so I see John is helping and Marcia at Red Cardinal Treasures. And I'm assuming Mark OG&Z will be by at some point as well. So John has the first question. What is, oh, what? Hold on, Kat. Reverse. I'm all I just went off the deep end. Okay, I'm sure most of you know who these lovely ladies are, but I'm going to be proper and let them introduce themselves. I'm just like, I'm late, go. Okay, so I'm joined by Tiffany Thrifting Vegas below me. Danni, the niche lady, is catty corner. And Julian is right next door. He will be going on vacation again soon, so we will have some more guest co-hosts coming. I know, right? I know. I'm gone the next 2 weekends, not this weekend, but the following two. I am out as well. I will be down in Renninger seeing George the Antique Nomad, and then we're going to the mountains for my birthday. So Hopefully the signal on the top of the mountain works, because that is where I will be on a Tuesday. So here's Tiffany and her cat to introduce herself.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Tiffany. I'm Thrifting Vegas. I have a YouTube channel and an eBay store. And most recently, I am on board with Whatnot. It's very, very exciting. I think that's going to be the new way of selling online, fast-paced, auction style. Really excited to be here again this evening. With my bestie, Danni. So let's go.
All right, here's Danni.
Hello, everybody. You know me. You know this is not my normal background. I'm actually coming to you live from beautiful San Diego, actually Chula Vista. But I'm here visiting my daughter, but always have time for Kat and being on her awesome show. I do have a YouTube channel. And I am on eBay and Whatnot and Etsy and Instagram, and I'm the niche lady. You Google niche lady, you'll find all my places.
All of the things. Julian, are you waiting till next year to start Whatnot? Is that your plan now?
Yeah, that's basically it. I know we have a busy couple of months, and I couldn't really do anything on Whatnot until probably January 1st. So we're just going to wait so I can put all my effort, not all my effort, but at least some of my effort into that, rather than saying I'll do it and not do it for the next 2 months.
So you're more like, what? Not.
Yeah. What? Nah, I don't think so.
You know what? Somebody called it in one of my streams. They called it Whatnot by accident. And I thought that was so funny. I was like, that should be the new name, Whatnot. All right, I see Mark. So Mark is obviously here. I wonder, did I do that or did you?
I did.
I got to try something. Oh, no, it doesn't work. I was wondering if I clicked it at the top, if it would pull it up, but it won't. He's been here. See, he's calling me out. Okay, Mark. I didn't know if you had baseball again. I didn't know because I didn't hear from you. All right, Mark, let me know. Julian, watch. Mark, are you coming with me next weekend to Renninger's? Still, that was our plan. All right, here's Mark's dolphin. Thank you so much.
We have new dolphins.
Gino made me that dolphin. Gino's fine. And it's so, yay. So I get to see Mark next weekend. Gino made me that and emailed me and said, hey, I have a new YouTube, watch it. And I'm like, Gino, I'm too busy to tell you the story. And like, it took him 3 emails to be like, Kat, it is something for you. Please go watch the video. And I did. And then I felt bad because I was just, all over the place like I am tonight, apparently. Okay, now we will get to John's question. What is the one thing a smaller reseller should master if they plan on scaling their business in the future? That is a great question.
I think the most important thing is to be organized and to have methods in your purchasing, listing, selling, and inventory. Because if you don't have those methods in place as a small reseller, once you start to grow, everything gets crazy. And when you sell something, you can't find it. And when it's time to do quarterlies, you don't have your paperwork together. So as you start on a small scale, put everything in place, have your methods, and have your inventory organized to where it's easiest for you. It doesn't matter what other people are doing. Just create your systems in a way that works for you. So as you grow, it stays easy and streamlined.
Yeah, and I would say, and I talk to people all the time, says, "Oh, I'll do that later. I'll do that later." And it goes a lot to what Tiffany just said is, if you have plans to grow your business, then you need to think already to do things as if you're already there. So you need to, and when we talk about mastering something, we all know probably the most important thing that you need to master is the shipping. Depending on what you're selling, if you're selling breakables, if you're selling something that you have to learn how to get it shipped there properly, you have to master that with your first sales, not wait till you're bigger. So that's one thing. But think already that you're running your business the way you want to be in the future, because that's going to go to that organization, that inventory management, that, lay the foundation right from the start.
Yeah, it's tough being third because usually they take all the good answers. Organization is definitely one. Shipping actually came to my mind right off the bat, but then I'll just throw in also like your finances. Like we kind of got a little bit caught off guard about, we had a separate bank account, and then, then turning into an LLC and then an S corporation should have actually been done last year instead of trying to get it done like this year, halfway through the year. So like just always like kind of think ahead of where you think you're going to be. And then because if you decide to grow and you work towards it, you will. I mean, if you're really hustling out there and you're working your hours and you're putting in the time, it will happen. You will grow and, whatever business that you're doing. So just always think ahead on that. But I'll say finances, because they took the organization one, which was my number one thing.
And now they took them all. I really don't have anything to add. I think they hit the three main points. Yeah, I was hoping Julian wouldn't say that, because that was what I was going to say, but he said it. So, all right. So the Pinkle M says, I have a baseball card high school jean jacket from Jim Thomay. He has been inducted into the Hall of Fame. It's stuff sitting in my closet. What can or should I do with it? And I just wanted to put this up too, because it was shortly after, and they say they went to high school with him and emailed the wife about the jacket, no reply. So can I sell this jean jacket to get it out of my closet?
Absolutely. It's your jean jacket. You can do with it as you wish. It sounds like it's a very unique item. So, I would probably list it really, really high, higher than you would imagine. And I'd list it high, buy it now, take or accept, entertain offers, make that an option. And, if you don't get any offers, you might want to reduce it a little bit, but don't, sell yourself short. If you've done some research, I don't know whether you've done research and found out if he has any other items that have sold or listed or anything like that. See how desirable his pieces are, and then aim high. I would, for sure.
Yeah, and if you went to high school
researching right now.
If you went to high school with him, go back and look in your yearbook too, because if his stuff is selling, I'm guessing he's been inducted into the Hall of Fame. He's a name that people know. If you've got a yearbook, some of those yearbooks with celebrities and famous people go for big bucks. I don't know if you want to get rid of your, your high school year, but you might have friends who want to get rid of theirs. So because that name is in there, you could even go source them on eBay, knowing that name is in there that somebody else might not know. But yeah, by all means, that's like a one of a kind piece for you to put out there and name your price.
Yeah, I got nothing to add to that. I would just shoot super high for that, and then just do your research and make sure that you're not selling yourself short on it.
Wait, what was his name?
Yeah, and that's something I think I might check into specialty auctions, like one of the big auction houses versus listing it on eBay, which I have never done that, but that sounds like something that might be appropriate for you. And most of them will give you an estimate on it and tell you whether or not it's worth it for them to sell it. And I think they'll give you an estimated value. So if they did that, that would A, give you a point to know about what it should sell for. And B, you could decide, do I want to sell it myself on eBay or an online platform, or do I want to send it to an auction house that targets, say, sports buyers, for sportswear collectibles like that. But Danni had a great idea of trying to find more of those yearbooks. So that is definitely an idea as well.
I mean, the trading cards go for over $1,000.
That's what I was just looking at too.
Yeah, so I would try and possibly see what a good, sports auction house is. Like one of the major sports auction houses is probably where I would go with that for sure. Because if a card's selling that low, that's only $1,000. If a card's selling that high, then the jacket very well could go, multiple thousands of dollars. Miss Diane says, for a brand new listing that receives an immediate offer, how long do you wait to reply since it was just listed minutes ago, or do you reply ASAP, and why?
I usually give it a little while, especially on an immediate offer on a brand new listing, just especially if I'm not sure about the precise value of the item. It gives other people a chance to also make an offer on the item. And if you respond right away, you might be selling yourself short. So I wouldn't wait too long because you don't want to appear rude, but a few hours, or if it's late at night, in the morning, definitely give other people a chance to send in their offers. If you don't receive any more, there's nothing lost. You can accept your counter as you wish, but give people a chance on a new listing to get their offers in.
Yeah, I mean, I price strategically. So I price with that built-in margin for offers and such. So I usually set up an automatic accept on my best offer feature. So if it comes in below my auto accept, then I'm like Tiffany, I'll let it sit a little bit because that adds a little, I like to call it algorithm juice. Some eBay goes, oh, new listing. Oh, somebody already wants to buy this. Let's put this out to other people. And then you could get an immediate sale, or you could get a better offer. So got to play with it.
Yeah, it all depends what the offer is. I mean, if it's a good offer, I also have a little bit padded in there. So if it's like, only 5 or 10% off, probably going to take it no matter how long it's been listed. If it was a minute or a second, probably going to go ahead and take it. But if it's because that's how much I really probably wanted to make for the profit anyway. If it's a lower offer, then I'm probably going to either, if it's super low, just decline it because it's a high end item, obviously, if it's that fast. And then if it's like mid level, I would probably just counter offer and see what happens from there. But I would do it pretty fast. Like I'm usually, whenever I get one, I'm right on it.
So for me, it's only been a few items I have that get offers like that. And for me, I'm pricing up because I know my sale's going to take place. So if they make an offer that would be higher than my sales price when my sale kicks in, I would accept it immediately. If it's going to be lower than my sales price, most of the time, if it's that fast, I let them sit overnight, especially if it's an auction item and they're trying to get me to end an auction early. I will let them sit overnight, never more than like 12 hours. And most of the time, if it's really popular, more offers will roll in overnight. And then I will take the best one in the morning as long as it's an acceptable one. But again, if it's above where I'm like, because my sale kicks in within the first hour to 12 hours. If I know my sale's going to drop it below that offer, I'm going to go ahead and accept it really fast where they don't see that price drop and then, oh, I paid more than the asking price. So yeah, that's what I would do. I'm interested to hear the answer to this and as the chat as well, because I am not an iPhone user and my daughter's iPhone pictures have been looking crappy as well, listing for me. So Chance says, what type of lighting are you using to take pictures? And if you use iPhone, do you feel the software has changed? My pictures are looking horrible and I can't figure out why.
I use a that's the brand, newer light box. With my Android phone, I take pictures directly in the eBay app. I do as many as they'll allow. I believe it's 12 now, 12 pictures. And then after I have done my draft listings, I go in on my laptop and tweak the lighting on the first picture. It allows you to do it within the listing just to make it look as good as possible. I don't bother with all the others because it's too time consuming, but first picture I tweak it to make it look perfect. But Lightbox and Android is what I do.
Yeah, I would be curious to know, what you mean by looking horrible. Are they too dark? Are they pixelated? Are they, what is the horrible point? Because if they're just too dark, and usually I use, I just have a table, a raised table with white sheet background. And I use the stand-up lights with like a 5,000 Kelvin bulb. Actually, they have 4 bulbs each, so a lot of light. And even then, sometimes my pictures look a little dark and I tweak them in the eBay editing software. So the eBay editing software is remarkably good at fixing up those pictures without, you don't want to change the color or anything, but you can brighten and add a little contrast and make your pictures look really, really sharp.
I actually take most of my pictures out in the garage on my workbench, and then there's just a big light above it, like a I don't know, fluorescent or LED workbench light above it. And then I do have, they're just those big lights I think you're talking about, just big monstrous lights that also I can put out there. Kayla uses basically the same type of lighting. We don't have a light box or anything. She uses an iPhone, her pictures actually look better than mine. I have an Android. Both of them are the newer models. But both of us use Photo Room a good bit. I don't use it for golf clubs or tools just because it would be a waste of time. But everything else we use Photo Room, takes a background right off, and it actually enhances the color a little bit on Photo Room by itself. Like when it does the background, it does like a little change to it where it doesn't change the color, but it makes it a little bit brighter.
I was trying to find, so my daughters are turning too light with her iPhone. It's like they're glaring. Somebody in one of our other chats said something about they had to change the white balance on their iPhone to get it to not do that. So that might be what's going on with hers. It doesn't happen with my Android. I have fluorescent in here, like one of the shop lights like Julian was talking about. And we actually photographed the clothes like right there on the floor. And then I have LED lights back there in the corner. That's like my photographing station. You can see one there. I have 2 LED stand lights. So the stuff that'll fit there, we do that. My jewelry, sometimes I'll do in a little 12-inch light box. And then the clothes all go on the floor. But my daughter, and it's mostly with the lighter clothes, like the white ones, it washes them out. And it's weird. It's like she doesn't notice it. So she posts it and then I go to list it. I'm like, what is this? And she says it didn't look like that on her phone. So I don't know. And I'm not an iPhone user, so I'm not sure if anybody has any tips. Somebody said it was a white balance thing. So, because I would love to be able to tell her how to fix it.
Well, Chance said they're too dark, pixelated, not crisp. I would say there's not enough light then. If you're too dark and blurry, that's usually a lighting issue.
Yeah, so you could get like the 4-foot shop lights, depending on where you're at, or you could buy like the LED stand lights like I have, or a photo box would work as well, depending on the area that you have for it.
Do you see what Beach Walker says there? That if
What Beach Walker say?
If you put your finger on the screen while taking a photo and hold it there until the square blinks, it will self-adjust.
Okay, so I need to tell my daughter that. Thank you, Beach Walker. Okay, I'm going to tell her that, because it only seems like with the lighter items that's happening. Because I just looked, and all of the drafts that are in here now look fine, because it's like magazines and books. They're all darker colors, so they look fine. But I had a lot of like white and linen shirts that I had bought, and those all looked like horrible. They looked horrible. Who is that? 365 Vintage Hunter, $10 super chat, said thank you for all your valuable information for us resellers and YouTubers. You are so welcome. We appreciate you watching. Thank you for being here. Here is your dolphin. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. The Donovan Collection says, I am cross-posting to Facebook Marketplace and Posh as a new seller on both platforms. Any advice on either to sell my first items with no reviews or ratings? I've been on eBay for years successfully.
Most importantly, I would say on Poshmark as a new seller would be to share, participate, and refresh your listings often, daily, if not every other day. Facebook Marketplace, probably the best. Again, repost, make sure your pictures are really, really good. You have a great description, you have location, you have all the details. But I think as a new reseller, on those two platforms where you don't really get feedback as such, most important is to be at the top of the search for that item, I would think.
As far as if you're cross-posting, so I don't spend a lot of time tweaking or doing anything on my cross-listed platforms. I focus on the one. I focus on eBay and make sure that's the one that I'm really generating my sales from. The other, I see it as just, if I get sales there, it's great, but I don't have the time to spend to divide out on different platforms. So I just focus on the most important one for me, and I still get sales on those other ones. So it's all good.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I don't actually pay. I'm not on Facebook Marketplace or Poshmark. Kayla's going to go ahead and start cross-posting in the new year, but I would not spend that much time either. I would just cross-post if my pictures are good and my title is good and that just crosses over. Then usually honestly, the pictures are really important when it comes to this. So if you have good pictures, even on those, I'm sure there's special things on Poshmark that you have to do, which I don't know about.
Yeah, and I think the main thing, even beyond pictures, is the items that you're getting. So you need to have good items that will sell, which should sell across all of the platforms. I have a service that shares for Posh. I'm the same as Danni. Like, eBay is my focus. That's my number one. My mom cross posts out, and I do nothing else on those platforms. I don't hashtag. I don't do keywords. With Facebook Marketplace and Posh, Tiffany had a good point. Those aren't places that people are really going to look at reviews. So I don't think being a new seller is going to hinder you on those two platforms, because I don't think people really look at that. So I think the big thing is going to be having good items and then good pictures to follow them. And the sales will come for sure. Like, we shipped out 4 items on Posh today. So my Posh sales have been good. And only one of them was clothing. So don't just cross post clothing to Posh. Like, I sold a Longaberger basket, Longaberger guard, like accessories on Poshmark. So just keep posting and the sales will come. If you have time though, like Tiffany said, refresh on Facebook, and that gets it to the top on Facebook, and then Posh sharing gets it to the top if you have time. I don't have the time to do any of that. So I pay for the service for Posh, and then I'm banned from Facebook. So I'm not allowed there anymore. Yeah. Road Tripper Thrifter Flipper says, I'm having trouble with descriptive words for my products that look at the buyer's attention. Any suggestions to help me?
You can do a search for the item you have or similar item and just have a look at a few of them and then take the best words from a few. You can create an amazing listing by copying somebody else's words and then changing them around a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that. It's perfectly allowed. I wouldn't, copy a listing and then keep everything exactly the same. But you'll find that you can always improve on somebody else's listing and make it your own. But there's so many tools if you do a little bit of research on the item you have. So use eBay, use other people's listing, use the work they've already done, use their titles, use their description, and change them around and combine a few. That's the easiest way to get as much information as possible in your listings.
And I would say too, so us sellers of a certain age, we come from a different dynamic of searching for things. Like, we're very much about like, what exactly is it called? And something I have learned from my millennial daughter is some of the things are being searched for with words that we have to think outside the box. Like, they're looking for what it is, not necessarily who it's by. And so think about the demographic that would be shopping for the item that you're trying to sell, and think about like, well, what would they call it? What is the, they've got their words, they got their whole vocabulary going, and we may be missing some of those words. So just kind of like tapping into that world, if you will, and coming up with some things you may not have thought about, calling it before, because it's like, if you're, mature, we didn't call things those things.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. Especially like descriptive words, that doesn't really come into when it comes to like golf clubs or stuff. It is what it is, like on the head of the club and the shaft, so it is there. But if I have something where like I had something where I took a Google Lens picture of it and it pops up and there it's described different ways in people's listings, I will do the same. I will take what I think is right, look that stuff up, make sure it's correct, and then I make my own listing out of that, out of the good words that I think that would help the search. But most
I'm looking at that thing behind you saying, like, I would call that a man halo.
That thing?
His beard.
I would not think of that. Huh. It's gonna light up, because then it really could be.
I would agree with what everybody said. I on my big cartel store, I don't know if Marsha and Mark could drop it. I have a keywords masterclass. It's over an hour and a half going over kind of how to get into the thinking of like coming up with keywords for your listing, because I think it's really important when you have non-branded items. If you want to sell stuff that is non-branded, keywords are key in addition to the pictures. Like, I sell a ton of scarves and handkerchiefs for 5 times what other people do. And I think keywords is the reason why I do that, because I'm finding the right buyers. So you have to get into a different mindset. It's almost like brainstorming, like when you do a brainstorming session, coming up with ideas for something, you're coming up with words that could describe it, like the uses. And just like Danni was saying, so somebody, it might be a toothpick holder, but what if it could be a bud vase too? So you can throw all those little uses into the title and grab different demographics for it. And definitely, like, I know granny core and cottage core are 2 keywords that are used a lot. Granny core and cottage core. And my YouTube members had to tell me that, because like Dan, I didn't know that. So if you do, like Tiffany said, search, you'll see some words where you're like, what? And you got to research and see if those are new keywords that you just don't know exist, because there are a lot of them. All right. Miss Belinda says, I'm ready to take the plunge and join eBay. Any tips on how to attract people to notice your store?
So it sounds like you're brand new. So the first thing you want to do is get yourself some feedback. On your brand new account, go in and buy some little things you need. Maybe some thank you stickers, maybe tissue or packaging or pens, just whatever you can. Buy maybe 10 little things and get yourself some feedback. As soon as you pay, most sellers who sell supplies and little items like stickers and tissue and packaging will leave you instant feedback. And that will give you some traction for your store. Once you have 10 feedbacks, you look a little more official and trustworthy. So that's the first thing I would do. Second, make sure your listings are professional. Make sure when somebody opens your store, they're like, oh, wow, this looks really nice. Nice pictures, good descriptions, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and I would say that goes back to that question we had earlier about, I'm a small business, but I want to grow. So think right now about forming your brand. Like, you guys as resellers have a brand, whether you know it or not, and you have control over what that brand looks like. So I think it's great to be able to I'm brand fresh someplace, build it, and they will come. But also get your social media profile set up to be able to attract customers that you can then point to your eBay store.
And something I wish I would have done early on, like when I first started eBay, is probably done a lot more research on the stuff I was actually posting right off the bat. Because it was like I posted stuff that I still have some of it, not going to lie. Some of it went to a yard sale. So what I would do to attract and get noticed by people in the eBay store, I would have the highest quality items if I started off right off the bat. I would make sure. Now, not like super expensive ones, because you have a lot of scammers right off the bat. Like I did a Bose system right off and it was a debacle. But I would make sure that they're decent items that that people will notice, and they're actually like looking for those.
Yeah. And I think the key is consistency too. You need to be posting every day. So once you start, you need to be ready to, post 2, 3, 5 items, whatever you want to do. Because the items are what is gonna attract them to your store more than anything. Because if you have something nobody else has, then they're gonna look beyond that you're a newer seller. And don't price too low, because people question too low prices and feel like something might be wrong with an item. So you want to make sure you're priced competitively, and then just keep listing. Consistency, and like Tiffany said, go buy stuff for cheap to build your feedback up as well. And you might already be a buyer, so you might already have feedback. We don't know if you do or not. I think really just one of us needs to answer this. Sapphire says she sold and shipped an item to Costa Rica through eBay International Shipping. On October 8th, it says it arrived the country on the 26th, but no update sent. So what would be your next steps?
It sounds like you used eBay's global shipping. They take responsibility from there. If it appears to be sort of lost in space, you might send eBay a message just checking up on it. But don't worry, if it went astray or it got lost, it's not your responsibility to take any action. Once you send it to the global shipping location, I think it's in Kentucky, they take it from there. So if you're concerned, send an email to eBay support, but it takes a while to these places, so I wouldn't worry.
Yeah, and I agree with that. Unless the buyer's reaching out, when I ship international, I kind of ship international and forget it, and don't worry about it. I don't track it. I've so many sales going. I don't worry about it. All right. My favorite finds. What's the best way to run what not sale? I'm set up as a seller, but I'm intimidated how my first sale is I don't have a grouping such as like a bunch of Disney items.
There's no best way, honestly. Kat and Danni and I, we all have different styles. Danni does hers, all on her holding the item, and Kat says hi and how are you, and then turns it around and does it. And I do.
I didn't even do that last time.
Oh, you did? I just do mine completely in my light box. So the main thing is to be comfortable. Do what you're comfortable with. There's no set standard. There's no preferred way. You are going to sell your items best when you are comfortable. And it doesn't really matter if you have a theme or not. You don't have to have Disney. The main thing I would say is try to be involved in other people's sales and get yourself a following first. That way people recognize your name. They want to come to your sale. They know you. They like you. They want to support you. And also, if you have Facebook and Instagram, advertise your items. Let people know what you're going to have in your sale. Post pictures. As you add to your whatnot inventory, keep posting on Instagram, on Facebook. This is what I'm going to have. Remind people. People have busy lives. They need constant reminding when your next sale is going to be. But yeah, just jump on in. It's, whatever you're comfortable with. Right, Danni?
Yes. And so I'm looking at that word intimidated, which is a way of saying fear, anxiety. And I will tell you, the successful people on Whatnot, on eBay, on wherever they sell, all have that. Everybody has that going into something that's unknown, don't know how it's going to work out. The difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is pushing through that and doing it and getting to the other side. So I would say, get that first sale under your belt, even if nobody shows up. I just said this on my show on Monday. Even if not a soul shows up, run the show as if you had 100 people in the room and go through your items and have that practice of talking to your camera or talking to the microphone if you're not going to be on camera. but just learning to get comfortable with how all of the process is going to work. But the biggest thing is just start doing it. Just start doing it. You got nothing to lose.
Julian hasn't done his first one yet.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I think you got to find what works for you. I don't think you need a grouping like Disney. Like my jewelry is all over the place, and I try and have some like lower cost items. I try and bring some nicer high end items as well. Something a little bit for everybody. I agree with Danni. Even if nobody comes, run it through, get the practice talking to people. Not meaning this negatively, but don't set up high expectations for it because you don't want to beat yourself down. And if you don't have a big following that you're already bringing, it could be a letdown. It could suck and it could take a while to build it up. But you got to find what works for you. Like I'm pretty OCD about my Whatnot sales and people comment on it a lot. I catalog everything. I have photos of everything and I run like every 20 seconds. I do 100 items in 2 hours. I am very proficient at it. And then other people, and I talk about her, I've given her so much free advertising. You should send me some stuff. Dawn, Stanford and Son sells jewelry and she does a claw game where she puts different colors in totes and she grabs a handful for them. And she didn't have a following and she gets just as many people as I do in her sales because that's fun. It's something fun. People like to do it. And the handfuls of jewelry go for almost $80. She's making good money and she didn't have a following. So you got to figure out what works for you with what you have and, see what people enjoy. Ask them, tell them to let you know, even if it's 2 people, if 2 people like it, then more people will like it, but don't expect too much. Just know, just like any business, you're going to have to put a lot of work into it to get it, to a good point. Even like we have probably been lucky, the 3 of us here on the panel, we do have good followings. So we did come in kind of, as heavy hitters, so to speak, and have, you know, a good audience and we sell stuff. But if you don't be discouraged, because I've seen people build it up from nothing. I know it can be done. 110% it can be done. So just start, just do it. Just do it. I would say organize it so you don't feel stressed out about it. That's just how I feel. And I'm happy to tell you how I run mine. If you want to email me, I haven't made a video because there's not that many whatnot seller. I, you know, have 100 views, but that's why I haven't done a video on it. But yeah, I'm happy to help with that as well. Who did I see? Uniquely Shan Hunting for Treasure, $9.99 super sticker. Thank you so much. And I'm going to show you guys something her super sticker made me think of. I hid and went and got these real quick. And I'm going to blow everybody's mind. Unless I've already told you. Some people I've already told. So Miss Shan, here is your dolphin. Thank you. All right. Are you ready for this? I just went and made sure I put these in my Amazon store. So, who knew you could print color stickers with a thermal printer? This is from a thermal printer.
Wow.
This is from a thermal printer. Not even a penny to make this on a thermal. So I went on some crazy, I don't know how, you know how you fall down a rabbit hole? Well, I fell down a rabbit hole and found thermal stickers that the thermal is pink and turquoise green instead of black. So you could print your own fragile stickers. You could print your own whatever. Mine say packed with love. They say thank you. Canva has circle sticker templates so you can make your own and then print them. The thermal printer is actually only $99. I got theirs. You could use it with a Dymo or a Rollo. I just went ahead and got theirs so I didn't have to change the paper because that would annoy me every day having to change paper. $99 for a Wi-Fi thermal printer that works. And the rolls of 500 stickers are only $15. And they did not come to me. I found them in a rabbit hole on Amazon and I'm like, no way that works. It works. Thermal printer. Look, the Nurse Flipper family, thermal printer. So it's only one brand. I searched all of like Google to see if I could find another brand that does that. It's only the one brand. It's off Nova. So I just got their printer so I didn't have to change my roll. But if you want to do your own stickers,
that's pretty cool.
That's where it's at. Yeah. I'm not going to replace my like colorful Nurse Flipper stickers, but for like thank you stickers, instead of having, you know, to buy them, that's perfect. And like you can do like repeat custom. I designed like 30 stickers and stayed up till 1 a.m. the night I found that because I'm like, oh, and now I'm printing them. So I thought I would share that. All right, Reigning Retro North Carolina. What is something you used to sell easily or for good money that doesn't do so well anymore?
That's a really good question. Before I had my YouTube channel and I was selling on eBay full time, I sold a lot of Dr. Scholl's sandals. There was a time when these specific sandals called, I think they're called Disco, they were selling like hotcakes. So I was seeking these out everywhere, buying them cheap and selling them high. But now I don't think they're a thing anymore. And my children tell me that Crocs are coming back and they're the biggest thing. They both asked for Crocs and Gibbets, the little button things for Christmas. And that blew my mind because in 2002, I was selling Crocs to shoe stores. So that's just crazy for me.
Yeah, I will say that it's really things that are easily identified. And even in the glass genres, you know, if it's an easily identified maker and pattern, because the market gets flooded, it's really supply and demand. So the more people find out about that thing and they list it, and it just seems to be this mentality out there. Oh, if they're pricing it at 20, I have to price mine at 17. And then the next one comes along and says, oh, well, I'm going to price mine at 15. So and we have this thing called race to the bottom, and that kills more great selling items than anything else out there. So
mine would be 100% would be like weights, like workout weights, stuff like that. Because 2 years ago, those things were super expensive, so the gyms were closed. Now they're just back to a pound or pound and a half per pound of what that weight would be for a dumbbell, which is normal. And then also like Wii's, like the Nintendo Wii's, they were selling for a big money, so it was like the Nintendo Sports. Now it's back down to normal what it would be like, $40 for a Wii or something like that, rather than 90 to 100 that they were going for. And I sold a pair of Crocs for $95 the other day.
Yes.
And I am wearing the Crocs I stole from my 20-year-old on my feet right now that she's not happy about.
Because everybody's saying they're super hot right now. So I agree.
Yeah.
She has the lined ones with like the Sherpa lining, and she made the mistake, like she left them in her bathroom, and her bathroom's like the bathroom everybody uses. And so I took them, and she's like, oh, are those my Crocs? So, and I never gave them back. That was like 2 weeks ago, and I've been wearing her Crocs. I would have said, like, if you asked me 3 weeks ago, I would have said my Kachinas. And I think it really varies, because right after that, all of a sudden I sold like 8 in a week for over $1,000. So I think it kind of ebbs and flows. So I keep listing what I know will sell, and I think it will come back around, but I think you need to have the space if you do that. Like, I'm lucky and have a lot of space. But other than that, like, my handkerchiefs are a little bit slower right now, but not too bad. I sold 3 scarves today. So those are still, and I think a lot of it depends on what I'm listing too, because I list big bunches and then I don't list them for a while, and then I list more, and then it gets more. And I saw Resell to Ride. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, yep, you're right.
So Resell to Ride says, I finally posted my first YouTube video last Friday. Congratulations. It is an introduction video. Any suggestions for a simple second video? I'm newer to editing, so I'm still slow.
I would jump right into what you intend to create for your channel. You have your introduction. Now you have to go back to, why did you create your channel? What do you love to share? What is going to bring you joy to film and edit and bring to YouTube? Don't force yourself to do something you don't want to do. Just start doing what you intended to do when you started your channel.
Yeah, what she said. Just start going for it, and don't expect perfection out of yourself. It is a process.
100%. Yep. I mean, that's like the best thing, is just do what you intend to do on your YouTube channel, and just go for it. Don't, because I wish that I would have done that a little bit more. So definitely, whatever your YouTube channel you want it to be, just start with that and just go for it. And trust me, editing, I don't know if you get any faster. I kid you not. Like, it still is just one of those things that's a daunting task that takes a really long time. At least for me. Maybe somebody's faster.
I think you feel more comfortable with it, but I don't think that means you get faster.
No.
Like, I think it still takes time. I agree with everybody else. Do what you're going to do. No, it's not going to be perfect. Go look at some bigger channels' first videos. Mine is a hot mess. My first probably 6 months are quite a bit of a hot mess. But it happened. You should naturally get better with time, like that. That is the purpose. So go, if you want to feel better about it, go look at some bigger channels at their first videos. Go look at them. Most of us leave them. They're still there. Sort it by oldest to newest. You will see them. We look kind of funny. And that should give you confidence in itself. So yeah, congrats again. And here is a dolphin. All right. What did I see? Oh, did I skip? I did skip. Okay, here it is. If you had to pick one regular reseller task you really dislike, what would it be?
Ooh, really dislike. You know, this is really my dream job. I know it's corny and cliche, but I would rather be doing any aspect of my reselling job than almost anything else. But when I find a really good plate or platter at a thrift store, and I know it's a good one, and I know I can make great profit, I get it and I list it. And then when it sells, I have to ship it. And that oversized plate that's bigger than a 12 by 12 by 8, and I have to find a box, and then I have to cut the box down because otherwise it's going to be oversized, and then I have to bubble it and pack it and paper it. That would be the task.
Yeah, I was sitting here like trying to think. I don't mind shipping, don't mind it. I mean, I like to list except for all the stupid item specifics. I'll just say it. Like eBay's making it a little bit of a pain in the butt to list lately. So I think the thing that I hate the most is having to clean the thrift store stickers off of stuff. It just, that kind of makes me batty.
This is gonna sound stupid, but I agree with the shipping, but I like shipping. I really like what I do. But you wouldn't believe what actually annoys me is that I do not, for some reason, like going to the post office.
Oh,
I just can't stand it. I hate going. I hate dropping. And I've tried to get them to come here. They're unreliable, so you can't trust them to come to the house and pick it up. But I can't stand dropping off packages. It just, I think it's a waste of time. I'm like, I have to, and I don't even stand in line. Like there's a thing, you just go drop it off. But I just hate driving there for some reason. Because you got to do the whole round. Like it's like UPS, FedEx, USPS. And we have a thing that you can drop them all off, but they like limit your, at Christmas, they turned me away. They're like, we can't handle, 40 some packages. And I was like, well, this is stupid. So it's just annoying. That's my one thing. But Kayla does that now. Kayla does it and I don't have to do it anymore. So really, I don't have any complaints.
Yeah, I'm going to echo Julian and Tiffany and say there's not really anything. I love what I'm doing. Sometimes I don't feel like listings, but I don't dislike it. I don't dislike it because it's fun to do. And I do fast research. I don't spend a lot of time researching, but it's fun to see stuff worth so much that I'm like, oh, I forgot about that. Or, in a lot, one item be worth a bunch of money. And so it's exciting to list because I'm researching at the same time. Even when my daughter's doing the drafts, I still am the one researching it. Like I just sold a book on beekeeping, like bee husbandry for $30 in 3 days. It sold super fast. I got it in a lot. I don't remember buying a bee book, so I don't mind listing. I really don't mind the shipping either. So this is what I want to do. It's what I want to do. I'm good. I'm good with it. All right. Miss Bridget says, how do you store your items?
I'm assuming you mean listed inventory. I have Goodwill style shelves for all my hard goods. They are lettered and numbered. So as I list on eBay, I can put in the little private, what's the word I want? Little private field where it is.
Custom SKU.
Custom SKU. Thank you so much. As soon as it lists, I know exactly which rack and shelf to go to find it. Back when I listed and sold shoes, I had the big black and yellow totes from Lowe's or Costco, and those would be lettered, and that similarly for clothes.
yeah, I'm the same. I have the big, they're the garage storage shelves that you can buy at like Home Depot for $100 and some. And I have my listed inventory is in a room in my house. And my unlisted is in my garage, sorted by, I sort mine because of doing videos. I sort mine by the video it was in case somebody reaches out and wants to buy it before I get it listed. So it's very organized in that way because I have employees that also have to be able to go out there and find things. So finding that system that like works for you is what's important, and trying different things, because number one, you do not want to sell something and then not be able to find it because your inventory system is a little bit jumbled.
Yes, 100% on that. I basically we've done a huge just makeover of the system because I didn't have a system before. It was more like a big guess where stuff was. But when Kayla came aboard, she was like, "This has got to do different." We have actually everything out of our house right now. Everything is in storage units, so the house is decluttered now, which is nice. And we have everything in bins. They're all custom skewed. We have all of our listed inventory on one side, and our unlisted listed inventory is on the back. I also do the same thing with the items on a video because I go through my items per video. Like if I have something I want to talk about at the end of the video, I have to section that out when I do my YouTube videos. So you have to like, that's my garage. It's kind of like an intake because we buy a lot at yard sales, like a lot. So intake, then you have to divide it up. And then if somebody reaches out to you in an email or something, a DM or something, then you know where that item is before it's listed on eBay. It's a process, and it really is. And once you get it down that works for you, stick with it.
It's funny because my thrifting videos, my storage is in my car. So I'll know one store is behind the driver's side, one store is behind the passenger side, and one store is in the trunk. And we use the truck most of the time. So
That's
my car is my storage. And then when I go to do the haul, I'm like, okay, everything from behind the driver's side needs to come in and have a haul video.
Yep.
So my car is my storage for my thrifting videos. And I've thought about using different colored IKEA bags too, because I might hit 3 or 4 stores in, one day. And I do need to be able to separate them for video's sake. As far as listed stuff, I have a bunch of different things because I think it depends on what you sell. So I have like some narrow drawer, tall drawers for like jewelry and stuff. I have some totes. I have some open shelves. So really, really depends on what you're selling. I have 2 clothing racks I got from online auctions where I hang clothes that are for sale. So I really think the big thing is going to be like what you're selling and what works for you, because what's working for us and how we're doing it might not work for you and your inventory. Like we're all referring to videos a lot, and you might not make videos, so you might not need to worry about that when it comes to your system. So just figure out what works for you. But the main thing is you can find it. You just need to be able to find it when it sells. That's the only thing. That's the only thing. All right. Oh, Catherine sent a $5 super sticker. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Here is your dolphin. If you don't want a dolphin and you send a super sticker, tell me, because I know not everybody loves the dolphin, and I still love you even if you don't love my dolphin. It's okay. So here is your dolphin. Oh, there's a loop button. I could loop the dolphin for all the dolphin hate. I'm just
looping it.
Just kidding. Okay. So wrong question. Hold on. I skipped question. Question for Danni. What made you decide to open your own shop, and will everyone still be selling on platforms as well?
Yeah, so for those who don't know, I am opening up a thrift store, a bona fide thrift store called the Good Stuff Thrift Store in Las Vegas. My reason behind it was it kind of twofold. One, because I make a goodly portion of my income filming in thrift stores, I wanted to be a little bit more in control of the environment that I'm filming in. So now I don't, I can never have to worry about walking in and being told you can't film here, or having the music too loud, or all those things. So that's one reason. The other thing is that I really wanted to support my reselling community because the Goodwills and some of the other stores, the Savers, their prices are going bazonkers. And so I wanted to give them a run for their money. My goal is to make this a nationwide chain like Goodwill. and to really focus on the fact that resellers are the thrift shop buyers. So our prices are going to be like spot on with what you guys need, because I know how much you need to buy it for based on what it would sell for. So those are really the big reasons that I decided to open the store.
So in 2025, maybe I will open a branch in Florida. And
yay!
There you go.
Yeah. I read on one of the YouTube books I read, I don't remember which one. They talk about, and my mom's a big quilter. There was a quilting YouTube that the whole town built up and became profitable because of this quilting YouTube. They now own like 2 hotels. They own restaurants. They have like 4 shops downtown, all because of their YouTube channel. People are coming to this. It was a little like no-name town, and now they do tours to the town because of this YouTube channel, which I think is really, really cool, you know. And like, if people like Danni and want to go see, that's an awesome opportunity for them to go there, just like the quilting thing. Like, oh, we're going to go there to go to her thrift store. So I think that's really cool.
Okay.
And reading like how this like no-name town that had died just went to from one YouTube channel, like transformed the whole town. I thought that was
Community
so
can
amazing.
be huge. I mean, there is power in numbers. As you know, one person, we can only do so much. As a community, we can change the world. So
Yes, I agree for sure. Okay, Miss Belinda wants to know, how long did it take for you to get approved on Whatnot? I hear a lot of people complaining about the approval process.
Well, I think for the 3 of us here, it was very quick, just because of our YouTube presence and our eBay presence. Initially, I've heard it was quite fast, but just lately they have started becoming a little more selective. However, if you want to reach out to any of the 3 of us ladies here, we can perhaps put in a good word for you, depending on the category you're in, and see if we can't get you bumped to the top of the stack.
I will tell you what they're looking for when you're putting in your application. And, you know, they're asking for your other selling channels, or they're asking to see pictures of their inventory. What they want to know is that you know how to deliver on what you're selling, that you know how, you know, that you're going to be able to do the customer service. You're going to be able to get the things shipped out and get them to the customers. That's really what they're looking for. So if you can, in your application process, reassure them not only of the quality of your inventory, but let them know you understand, you know, timeliness in shipping, and that you understand the shipping process, and just kind of put some of that extra in with your applying, that's going to go a long ways.
Yeah.
Yep. I did get it. I did get what was it? I did get approved. I just haven't done an onboarding call yet, but that was a while ago. It didn't take very long.
It took me, I think, over a month to get approved. I got approved back in March, and then it took me 6 months to do my first sale. But I agree with Tiffany. Like, I referred one of my members, like in my paid membership, so I know her very well. I referred her, and she got approved in 2 hours. So you can get approved fast. She probably sent a video with all of her inventory. And again, presentation is key. I didn't do a video, and that might have been my downfall of why it took me so long. Even with all my followers, it took me that long to get approved, because I think I sent like one picture. Here's my stuff. And I was really like kind of laissez-faire about it. So I would say give more information, give a good presentation, and that way they know, like echoing everything Danni said for sure. Patty wants to know, is everybody doing a special sale for Black Friday in their eBay stores?
Probably not. No.
No, I'm going to be busy opening a thrift store.
Yes, I probably will.
I will be putting my store on vacation mode. So no, I
Oh,
will
there you
not.
go.
I will be going to the mountains on Saturday after Black Friday because Sunday is my birthday. So my store will actually be, I'm only gone for 5 days. So I'll just do the time away where they can still buy stuff. So I might put a little extra higher sale, but my store will actually be in away mode on Black Friday. But you know what? Sometimes you gotta take a break. I just wanted to
remember,
put this up.
Cyber Monday is more important to us as online sellers.
I'll be
than
gone
actually
then
Black
too.
Friday.
I'm not coming back till Wednesday. I'm just leaving. You know, sometimes you got to. I wanted to put this up because I love when my Aussie and my UK people come in. Urban City Sells is watching tonight from Sydney, Australia. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Yes.
John is rewinding again. I want to thank John again as well. And John is this name, More Income, over on Instagram. And he's been gifting memberships the past few weeks. And I greatly appreciate it. So definitely show him some support. Eileen is asking, am I going to have a full tour of my entire shed and inventory and how I organize? I actually have 2 videos already on that. That show all 3 of my storage areas. If you search the Nurse Flipper shed, you'll find them. I have one with all 3. I really have been contemplating, because Brad tells me I need a shipping shed, but I've gotten it more organized than here. If you watch my video yesterday, there is actually carpet now. We are clearing some of the stuff out. And I don't know where I would put a 5th shed. Okay. I do have 11 acres. I do have room, but I don't know logistically, like where it would be, where it would make sense and be convenient. I don't know where I would put it because I've been thinking about like, I could get a smaller one just for shipping, but I don't know where I'd put it. So I might not. And I might save up to we actually have an old barn that's 30 by 60. So it's the size of a warehouse. So I actually could refab that or knock it down and build a new building. And that might be what I end up doing and I'm hoping, because it's an old barn, I'm hoping maybe I could get somebody like, they get the stuff free for tearing it down, where it would give me, a blank surface to come in and build a new one, because I do have the concrete slab there that is 30 by 60 on my property with a separate power pole. It used to be a woodworking shed. So I've got the room, and it might be like saying no more sheds. Like when we do it next time, we're going to go big or go home and go big at home because it's in the corner of my yard. But we would have to put a lot of money into security too, because it's on the outside of my property. So I would have to look at like fencing and like some serious video surveillance before I did that too. There'd be a lot of things to think of. I see Scott.
There he is.
Hi, Scott. I'm wearing froggy flips tonight. So this gentleman now has over 300,000 subscribers, but he was one of the first guests on my live show back when I started, and we both had like less than 1,000. And I've had my froggy flip shirt for years, and I haven't worn it. So I figured I'd wear it tonight. Anthony's a great guy. He does garage sale videos if you guys haven't seen him, and he is killing it. He is absolutely killing it. So Scott wants to know, if you could go sourcing anywhere, where would it be and why?
Wow, that's a great question, Scott. When I was little in England, I used to go to these amazing events called car boot sales, where everybody on the weekend would drive their car to a big field and then open the car boot trunk and either sell out of their trunk or lay a blanket down and put all their stuff out. And that was just amazing to me. That was so fun. And I think I would go back to England and do that again.
So I actually am working on making my dream sourcing trip happen, and it's to go across the country with no particular destination in mind, just going thrift stores near me, and just hit every thrift store that I can, and who knows where I'll end up. No plan.
I laughed about the car boot thing story because I had a comment on one of my YouTube videos, and they said that, and I had to look it up. I was like, I don't understand what you're saying. Car boot, like, what is that? So I did like massive research on it. I was like, this looks amazing. Yeah, it's the trunk. It took me forever to figure that out. So yeah, I could have just sat here and asked you.
Is that where junk in your trunk came from?
Maybe.
I bet it did.
So mine's the same thing as, Kayla and I actually, when we go on these, they're not really vacations, they're thrift trips. Like we just went through North Carolina, starting on like the mountains, and went all the way to the coast. Where I'm going now in a couple weeks is actually to New York City and back. And we don't have a destination other than New York City is one of our destinations because my sister's up there. And then we're going to come back through Baltimore, where my brother is. And then we're just going to drive and see wherever happens. And we will eventually do a cross country to the West Coast. It's funny. You would come to the East Coast, but yeah, we got the vehicle. We're just trying to figure logistics because it's a lot of stuff that will be bought, and how do you transfer that much stuff without like overwhelming your vehicle, or like you can have trailers, but you need a big vehicle for that. So that's what we're working on, is just the logistics of how not to blow up the truck's transmission with all the stuff
you got a whatnot along the way.
That's what I saw somebody do that. I forget who it was. Yeah, they were whatnot.
Josh Harry Tornado did one out in LA from the stuff he thrifted in LA. Yeah, he's like live from LA. So Brad asked me because like Reningers, I'm going 3 days, but I'm so OCD about how I set them up. I might try it, and that's next weekend. And I'm definitely like, Reningers has a ton of good jewelry, which is what I sell. So I expect to be able to get it. And they have a bunch of sterling there as well. So I might try and pull it off, especially since Brad will be there with me to help me run it. I might do it. I don't think I would go as far as shipping it because we'll be back home on Sunday. So we would probably ship it out Sunday or Monday, but we might do a sale from there. And then in the mountains too, I don't know. Brad might get mad at me because the mountains is supposed to be like a real vacation, not a, like next weekend is sourcing, and but the mountains aren't supposed to be that. But I will be live from the mountains, which will be fun. For me, I think it would be like Arizona, New Mexico. I love all my Native American stuff, so I would like to go somewhere that would be heavy on that stuff. A lot of the Tucson, Arizona is one of the places I see a lot of estate sales with stuff I love. So for me, it would be going, yeah, it would be going where I could find more Native American stuff, and I could go see the historical sites as well because I love the culture. So I could kind of dual purpose it. So that would be for me. Oh, let me give Scott a dolphin before I forget. Here it goes, Scott. Thank you. That's a fun question. Tiffany, Miss Patty said she doesn't see a show scheduled for you. Do you know when you will have one coming up? Do you know that yet?
Whatnot, I assume. Yes, I am scheduled. I'm scheduled for Friday night at 4, I believe, right after Danni's live YouTube sale. And Sunday, I believe I am at 2 p.m., both Pacific.
And I might piggyback on you.
All right.
I might piggyback because I'm doing Friday and Sunday too. And I was going to do Friday evening and I do later Sunday afternoon. So I might follow you on both those days if you don't mind, because those are my next 2 days too. Yeah. I'm doing tomorrow at 8:30. And then I think that's been working for me. I've actually been able to pull off 3 a week. I've been doing Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. And it's worked well. So I think I might stick with that schedule for sure. Patricia Wells, thank you so much. $3 super sticker. We appreciate all of you being here. I forget to say this. Definitely, if you guys don't mind sharing out too, where we can have more people and a bigger community, tell your friends about the show to come and hang out with us too. I always forget. I'm bad about it. George is great about it. And I'm like, I never tell people that in my video. I forget. So thank you so much. We greatly appreciate it. Here is your dolphin. Dun, 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 dun. Eileen says, how many or how much sales per day do you consider a good day?
That's a relative question. I want to say in this business, everything is so up and down. You can have days where you sell nothing, and then the next day you can sell 10 or 20 things. So I am one to go with the flow. I don't usually judge the day. I'm just, grateful that I am willing and able to succeed in this business because of how hard I work and what I put into it. And there are so many opportunities out there for anybody to do well in this business. You just have to seize it and commit to it and do well. So, every day is a good day for me if I sell something or I don't, because I am doing what I love and I'm making a living at it. So.
Yeah, and I would say I don't really count it by the day. You can make yourself a little crazy if you are like watching, oh gosh, I didn't have any sales today. What you really need to look at is your overall in the month. Here's your expenses. Here's your revenue. Are you on the plus side? Are you growing month over month? Those are the numbers that really matter.
I would agree with that 100%. But if I said I don't do numbers per day, I would do like dollars per day. Like, hey, I sold $500 today. That's a good day. But here's the thing is if I sell 100 and the next day I sell 600, 700, it all equals out the same. So weekly, monthly, but in my brain, like we had a $250 order, like right off the bat today. It was like 8 o'clock, boom, 250. And I was like, today's a good day. Like that was a good sale on the day. But every day that doesn't happen. It's not like a terrible day. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. Usually I go by month, really. Like even by week, it can be, you can have a bad week and then a super good week. So, but I usually go by month. But if I get $250 sales at 8 o'clock, it usually makes me smile a little bit.
Yeah. So for me, I want to have $500 a day in sales. That is my goal. So around 15,000 a month. But to consider it a good day for me would be over $1,000 in sales. And we have hit it 3 to 4 times in the last month. And that's me busting my butt. I do look at the overall picture, like, and eBay's down right now, but I'm doing so much with Whatnot. I'm putting more effort into Whatnot. So overall, we are way up for the month. And by way up, I mean double, almost triple what we were the month before. So, I'd like to see 500. I haven't seen it very often in a while because I've been slacking on eBay. But I that's like my overall goal for like all of my sales would be 500 a day minimum. I would love to get to 100, and hit almost 400,000 a year in sales. I think we're going to hit 200,000 this year, and we did 150 last year. So that goes to, like Danni was saying, like if you're growing progressively like you want to, that's the big thing. And you need to look at your inventory too, because like I have $250,000 in inventory listed. So I wouldn't expect $500 sales days with, $20,000 listed. You really need to set realistic expectations for yourself and where you're at, and not try and like, don't be unrealistic or you're going to let yourself down, I guess is what I'm saying. Jay, happy birthday. Who wants to sing? I don't want to sing.
Danni,
sing.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jay. Happy birthday to you.
Yay!
Yes, that was beautiful.
No.
Danni sings very beautiful. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna give you a dolphin too. Happy birthday, Jay. Where did it go? Okay. I want to preface this question by saying Danni just did a live talking about nothing but whatnot. So if you want to hear some more about that, go over to Danni's channel. She did a live doing nothing but that. JB Fox is asking or saying, someone said that whatnot is dying because it's resellers selling to other resellers. What do you think?
I think someone's upset because they had a bad sale. No, I honestly think Whatnot is a super duper starter company that is going to go huge in the next few years. It's just a fun, fast-paced selling platform where you can not only buy things quickly from wherever you are, but you can make friends and you can hang out. And if you're lonely or you're bored, you can hop on in a second and just have a fun time. So I think it's an amazing new, both a social opportunity and a selling platform. And I think in the next few years, it's going to be huge.
Yeah, when I did that show on Monday, I realized it in the moment. When I started on eBay, it was a 2-year-old startup company. And it had its aches and pains growing up, and Whatnot is now 2 years old, very similar. The categories that we sell in are super new because they didn't start with anything, but it was like trading cards and comic books and that kind of thing. So those categories are established now for 2 years, but the estate and decor and the jewelry and some of those things, they're baby fresh. Like, we're getting in on the ground floor of something that I think is going to be phenomenal. This company, I laugh when someone says it's dying. Like, what? Where do you get that? Have you been to Whatnot? There is no way that is dying. It is thriving, and they have huge amounts of investment money infused in. They're not going anywhere anytime soon. They're just now adding a marketing team. Just found that out. They haven't even done any of this with a marketing, really, intentional marketing department kind of get out there yet. So my advice is stop listening to people who are sour grapes about not doing well on Whatnot and start listening to those of us who are building something really cool on it and see the value and be motivated by that and just keep at it.
Yeah, I can't speak much on it because I'm not selling on it, but I will tell you this. I've been on the platform a little bit in the last week, just like looking, because I know that eventually that I hopefully will start selling on there. And I almost bought something for no reason because I was like, this guy is awesome. So I got like, you know what I'm saying? You get like caught up in it. You're like, I can, and it's so easy to bid and buy. You're like, boop, done. And it is actually cool. So I wouldn't say, I actually had to get off of it. So I'm going to end up buying a whole bunch of Jurassic Park stuff that I do not need. So, I mean, I don't think it's going anywhere. I have no idea because, again, I just start looking into it. But I will tell you this. It was fun to watch, and it would be fun to buy if you knew the person, even if you didn't know the person. I didn't know that guy, and I was like just wanting to buy his stuff. So it's just interesting how that worked out because I've really never watched an auction before, and it was just super, super fun. So I don't know. But I will hopefully sell them.
Brad was watching Pokemon cards the other night. He's like, be quiet. They're giving something away. Yeah. He's like hushing me. I bought my turtle necklace. I buy on there for me. I bought my ring. Yeah. Like, I buy on Whatnot for me. I think that some people are using it as a way to get rid of their stale inventory, and that is their choice. I source specifically for Whatnot. My inventory is all brand new, only for Whatnot. because I want people coming back. I want to find, good jewelry. I want to find nice stuff. I can see what people like, and then I get to go find it. So I like when people wanted sterling rings. So I probably have hundreds of sterling rings coming. Look at
I
it. See,
sold
that's
this last night.
Like,
Like, good stuff on Whatnot.
Yeah, so I think some people might be selling some not so wonderful stuff, but you're going to get that anywhere. You're going to get that anywhere. And I agree with Danni. People said eBay was dying the last 10 years. Okay. I sold $160,000 this year. If that's dying, then I'm okay with that. But you're always going to find naysayers about anything. And it's probably people that aren't doing good on the platform. And I think your mindset and your thinking has a lot to do with how you do. So if you are negative, you're going to get negative results. And you can go with the negative people, or you can go with people like us that are positive and figure out how to make it work. It's not going anywhere. I don't think it's going anywhere. I love it. I love being on there. I love selling. My husband actually likes helping. This is the first time, he's like, oh, I like having fun when the chat's not as interactive. He's like, why are they so quiet? Brad likes giving crap back and forth when we're live on Whatnot. So please feel free to come and give it to him. Because last show, he's like, they're too quiet. I can't mess with them. He loves it. He likes the interaction, and he hasn't really liked that much of my reselling. So I'm happy. He loves sitting there and interacting with the crowd. Dalton has been showing stuff and talking to the people. And he even knows, when I say who won, he'll say, congratulations, Caroline. And I don't prompt him. He knows what I'm going to say. He tells them congrats. Everybody, my daughter's helping as well. And people are going Team Cat, Team Brad, Team Dalton, Team Brooke. They're picking members of us. The Whatnot sales are fun. If you haven't been into one, go into them. They're fun to hang out. You don't have to buy stuff to win. I do 5 giveaways a show. So sterling silver, good stuff. I give away really, really nice stuff. So
I'm going to be using it a lot for the thrift store, because I'm co-oping with 5 different nonprofits who are getting the donated goods in, and I want to make sure they make money. So I'm going to be doing lots of Whatnots right from the shelves and helping them sell stuff.
Yeah, and I've seen people from their booths at the mall and stuff. You can see the people walking behind them, and they're just on Whatnot. Hi, Azur. I'm happy you're learning. I follow this kid. Who's the kid that spoke at FlipCon? Can somebody tell me? I think he's 11 or 12. I follow him on Instagram now. I might need to see about getting him come on. Does anybody know who he is? Because I bet Azur could watch him, and I don't know if I can find him quick. Chance, I will tell you if I find it. This kid has a trailer full of baseball cards and stuff he just bought, and he's going through it, and he's 11 or 12. So Azur, start now, and you will make you some big money. And here is your dolphin. You got this, Azur. And Marsha just told me John just gifted 5 more memberships. Thank you, John. We appreciate you. And question for Julian. I know not simple to answer, but maybe a couple of tips. What type of golf clubs are worth purchasing, and what do you look for?
Just the big name brands: Titleist, Ping, Callaway, Cleveland, and all newer stuff. We've just came into a bunch in the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We have found so many good clubs. I guess people are selling them they're going to buy new ones in the spring, I guess, and get rid of them. And yard sales are where I find all my good deals. That I don't find them on Facebook Marketplace. I don't find them at thrift stores. It's always at a yard sale. And even estate sales, they look them up before they price them here. So it's always at somebody's yard sale. It's I'm getting new clubs, and then they sell the stuff we've been picking up for golf clubs have been insane lately. But really just your bigger ones: Ping, Callaway, Titleist. If you know those 3, and Nike, if you know those 3 and it looks like a new club, comp it out on eBay, and you'll be surprised what some of these things go for.
So Evangeline says the average sell-through rate, it really varies. Some people say you should have 100% sell-through. I run 20%. And some people run 200%. It really depends on what you're buying and what you want to sell. I don't know that there's really an average. I think it varies so much depending on what you're selling. Because if you're selling video games or popular vintage tees, you're going to have over 100% sell-through rate most likely, and like really popular shoes too. But when you get into the rare one-off vintage collectibles, it drops. So I'm happy with 20% personally. I don't know if any, like Danni, do you know where you're at as far as sell-through?
Yeah. So eBay for me is kind of a little bit stagnant since I moved and then starting the store. But I still sell things there. But I judge it more like by, how many things I pick up to sell in a week and how many of those things go out the door sold. And I would say I'm at about a 20-25% sell through. But what I tell sellers too is if you're selling at least 10% of your eBay inventory, you're doing pretty good. I think that's average or above average across the board.
Yeah. I see Sunny. Sunny said, shout out to the chat for always showing amazing support and love. And shout out to Danni and Tiffany, #team friends. Sunny is amazing. Sunny's been around my channel since the beginning too. Yeah, Sunny's been around. I'm pretty sure before I hit 1,000 subscribers, that Sunny has been around for a long time. Sunny, thank you. And here's your dolphin.
Just know Sunny is part of the reseller cartel.
Sunny's going to have a spot in your store too, right?
Him, Mikey Bags of Money, Tiffany, and Carrie.
American Arbitrage Carrie?
Nope, my Carrie.
Oh, you're Carrie.
Yeah, so
like,
those that watch my channel know Carrie's like my little sidekick. And
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so everybody's like, where can we buy stuff from Carrie? Well,
there you go. Yeah, I think, didn't Carrie American Arbitrage move to Vegas, or he is moving to Vegas,
yeah,
I think?
Yeah, him and Don.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's why I was like, oh, heck.
Yep.
Because I know they had a store too. I'm scrolling. Kathleen, the name of the printer, if you go to my Amazon store, I shared the link. I'll drop it again right now. It's Off Nova, and it's the labels. You don't have to buy that printer though, but it is a good printer for 99 bucks. But it's the stickers. So it's like a white sticker that when you put thermal on it, it goes pink or turquoise. They have two colors. And I was just amazed with that because mostly you get black and white, and somebody was smart enough. Nobody else. I'm telling you, I hunted to see if there was somebody else. There's nobody else. And I don't know how they do that. I don't know how. It's Off Nova. Mark says that Crocs are hot and he's killing the Croc game for sure. Crocs have been good for a while for me. I guess they're probably better than they were. I always have looked for Crocs because I've always done very, very well. Anita wants to know, do you feel that almost all offers are coming at 2/3 of your price? There seem to be some people who see this as the way to buy all the time and expect that their offer will always be accepted.
I love offers. I don't care what they are. I don't care if they're $1 or full price, because it gets attention to my store. The algorithm is all sparkly when you receive an offer. It's, oh, somebody is interested. Let's send this item out to other people to see if they're interested. So you can't take offers personally. Just be grateful that you're getting attention to your store. Look at it that way. And just respond with an offer, a counter offer that you're comfortable with. If you're not comfortable with 2/3, respond back with what you're comfortable with. If you receive a $1 offer on a $500 item, send it back at $4.99. Send it back at $500. Don't take it personally. It's a business move. It's a business opportunity. And just look at it that way. It only takes up as much of your time and mental energy as you allow it to.
Yeah, and I would say if all of your offers are coming in at 2/3 of your price, raise your prices so that 2/3 of your price is spot on where you want to be.
Yeah.
I mean, I just got an offer for an item I had it listed for $99. The offer came in at $40. A lot of people would, be upset by that and think, oh, they're just wasting my time. I countered at $79.99. They accepted. So a lot of people just don't want to, they want to come in low enough that you're going to give your lowest possible come back to that. They don't want to come in right where they want to be because that's not the way this antiques collectibles game has ever been played. So it's, tire kickers can turn into really good buyers.
Yeah, my offers are all over the place, and I usually will now from being on this panel. I actually usually now do counter offer. I don't really decline them anymore right off the bat. I can't remember the last one. Oh yeah, decline one because it was like a $3 offer on like a $300 thing. I was like, I can't do it. I cannot counter that. So I declined that one. But other than that, if it's
$299.99.
yeah, exactly. That's probably what it would. But I usually do I usually do counter now, and actually I have some pretty good rates or sell-through rates because of that. So
well, I have not learned. Maybe I should learn tonight. I still decline anything under 50% as an automatic decline for me. Not automatically set up in the app. It's automatic by my finger. Because a lot of times for me, like the under half, I feel like we're not going to meet. But I mean, Danny's right. I've had them where I decline them and they come back reasonable and then we make a deal. Personally, I feel like if I decline it, it gets my point across that they're nowhere near what I'll accept. So that's why if it's under half for me, I decline. Or I can be a-hole and do like I just told Julian and respond with a penny less than my asking price. It depends on my mood. I'm not going to lie. Depends on my mood. But I've gotten some good ones from like, if they're at half, I'll come back, a little bit lower. But the problem, I feel like a lot of times if you're getting 2/3, I would be happy with 2/3. I would be so thrilled with that. I get a lot under 50% that are at 20 and 30%. And they're like, I'm like, we're worlds apart here. It's not going to work. But I've gotten sales from like where they come back, so yeah, it depends on my mood. I'm moody, but it's not personal. For sure. I don't get mad at them. I just decline because I feel like we're too far apart. But I don't have the auto decline on because if it's something I've had a year, I might be less offended at a less than 50% off offer and be like, And I've had some that have been at like 60% that I take because my sales are slow lately. I'm like, okay. So if you catch me on a good day, that's so funny. If mine were in here, that's what they would be doing. They're like, Sarah wants to know, how do you handle items that you can't find any info on? Like no matter how much you search, if you can't find anything, what do you do?
I can't find any item, not even anything remotely similar. I usually list it really, really high. What I'll do is list it super high with offers open. So hopefully I'm sort of digging for an offer to get an idea of what it might be worth. If I get no offers, I'll probably run it again through eBay and lower the price a bit. But what I'll do is I'll go on my social platforms and ask. Danni has a great Facebook group and everybody's so willing to help. So go on platforms, post a picture, ask for help. You'd be surprised more often than not. Somebody will reach out and help you and be happy to do that.
Yeah. So I mean, it happens a lot, especially in the glass genre, because not a lot of it is marked and identifiable. So I'll go by the quality. Like, does it seem like it's an expensive piece? Because if you know your niche, if you know certain genres of things, and you're going to know the difference between a cheaply made product and a really well-made product. So even if you can't find the exact one or anything about it, you can have the feelsy that, like, you know what, this is a really good piece. I am going to price it up there. I also, I got a direct line to George the Antique Nomad. Like, so if I have something that I think is super valuable, and I'm, you know, and I'm even at like pricing it high for me. See, I'm like, oh, okay, I'll put it at 500, but I'm thinking, but what if it's worth like 5,000? So those kind of items, I'll go to him and just double check and make sure I'm in the right ballpark.
Yeah, when it comes to that, honestly, I'll do the best I can. And then my biggest thing is I'll get on YouTube in a video and be like, I don't know what this is. And then if you hold it up, somebody watching that YouTube video usually will be at least give you some hint. They'll say a keyword you can look up. They'll give you something that you can actually take and use. And I use that a lot when it comes to my YouTube, because I'll be like, it's usually one item a day. I have no idea what it is. And I'm like, what is this? And then they'll be in the comments. Y'all in the chat also help out a ton. So that's how I do it, to be honest with you. If I can't find anything within at least like 30 minutes of looking, 35, 45 minutes, I'm pretty much it's gonna be a star in my next YouTube video. What is this thing?
Yeah, and for me, most of the time, like Danni was saying, like I can kind of get a feel after you've been doing it a while, you know, like what's expensive and what's nice. So for me, I think perceived value is a big thing, and I sell some things higher than a lot of people because of that. Look, it's the matching kitty cats. And mine's probably on the porch of the shed. I could probably go get him. So I would look for something similar. I think you could probably find something similar, like the same brand or same type of item, or, you know, something similar. Or like Tiffany said, go post in one of the Facebook groups. Somebody's going to know. Somebody's going to know what it is and be able to help, or just price where you'll be happy. Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to go get something now.
I didn't have a cat. I felt left out.
We'll see how good I am. All right. Tiger Allen Pride says, I'm in desperate need of shelving, but can't find anything I can afford. What would you suggest?
Oh, goodness. Have you tried garage sales or Facebook Marketplace, or offer up any local pickups? Or, you know what I did when I first started eBay? It was rough. I was a college student and living on mac and cheese and rice and ketchup. I used stacked cardboard boxes for my shelves. So you can always find something.
Oh, Julian feels really
all right, coming back in there, bud.
Oh, goodness. I think Facebook Marketplace is probably your best bet. I get probably all of my shelving off of Facebook Marketplace.
I agree with that. Yep, Facebook Marketplace, hands down, or yard sales can also be like a huge thing, because they're just, or moving sales. If you see like a moving sale, they're usually selling everything out of their garage or house or something like that. Always pick up good things there.
I was right. He was sleeping on the porch. I knew he would be sleeping on the shed porch. I opened the door and there was Pig. Pig likes to be in here. This is his home. I agree with Tiffany. I would do like Facebook Marketplace, yard sales, or you could post. People might like post their wanted, and maybe some people want to clear out some out of their garage or something. Craigslist is still used some places too, and even like flea markets too, on top of garage sales. I've gotten a lot of mine off of high bid auctions, because when they do the estate sales, like the people had shelving in their garage and they sell the shelving too. So more than half of my shelving has come off of high bid. So you could watch that, and totes. Like when we do our member sourcing, so I have my memberships, we do live sourcing every other Saturday. We see a lot of like really nice totes, and they sell stacks of totes in like one lot, and you can get a ton of totes for really cheap too. So I would check high bid in your local area. Glad you made it. Happy to see you here. Thank you for coming. Everybody, I appreciate all of you guys coming. Uniquely Shan hunting for treasure. Are you going to have an in-person seminar next year? I do not know. It is a lot of work, and by myself, I did it pretty much by myself. And the problem is, if you go into like getting an event planner and people catering, the cost would go up, and I don't like the idea of the cost going up. So I would have to decide if I want to do it again. I might I'm at Renninger's next weekend, so I might do like that where, okay, Renninger's having the big antique fair. We can all meet there and say hello and do stuff. But since Dalton started school, that's been the biggest game changer of having time to like get away and be able to do a retreat. I would have to probably do it over the summer, when the kids are out of school, if I did it. So I might. I'm on the fence. I'm not definitely no, but I'm definitely not at yes, because it's a lot of work, and I don't think people see like behind the scenes, because I did like meals, I did courses. Scott Cha-Ching King was nice enough. He spoke at the one we did in Tennessee. George the Antique Nomad came to the one I did in Florida. So I have to find people to come speak with me as well. So it's just a lot of work. So yeah. Oh, here you go. You got your stores popping up all over the country, Danni.
Nice.
That is awesome. Hold on, I'm scrolling. Oh, Mr. Bill, are you feeling better? Everybody wish Mr. Bill better. Mr. Bill just had foot surgery, and he can't put any weight on his foot for a long time. So that's and he's like normally go. So Mr. Bill and Vicky, his other half, helped me with my second camp after seeing me try and handle my first camp by myself. So I let him and his other half come to my second camp free, and they helped me. And we went to Sam's Club and went shopping, so I didn't spend as much money. And then they also went with me to Prison to Profit convention. We shared an Airbnb. They live about an hour from me. Hopefully they're going to start a YouTube. Mr. Bill wants to start a YouTube. He's got a great personality. I think he would be amazing at it. So if you go find the live from my Orlando camp, Mr. Bill got in there with the champagne bottle interviewing me. It was great. It's on the live from my Orlando camp. So, Mr. Bill, I hope you get better soon. I was so excited I hit the button while I was talking.
I was like, I didn't do that.
I went all over the place. Dalton tonight, before I came out here, was bouncing off the walls. And I was like, Brad, what did you give him? I took a nap. I'm like, what did you give that kid? And he's like, I didn't give him anything, but we had honey on our biscuits. I'm like, it was the honey. It was the honey. Who is that? Junk Monkey? Junk Monkey. Oh, they're paying for Julian to get a cat. Hold on. Okay, let's give local treasures. Do you? Oh, this is a fun question. Do you ever get bugs from the stuff you buy?
Bugs. Never had bugs, no.
No, I buy a lot of plush and pillows and textiles too, but one of the keys is keep them in the plastic bag, and I keep them in my hot car for a couple of days. So, yep, never had a problem.
One time I had an issue with something and a coffee maker, but ever since then, it hasn't happened. Oops.
Yeah, I haven't had any issues with it. I know most of, at least the Goodwills here, they will either spray it or do something. Different states have different regulations with how they resell them. And most of the stores I really like to go to here in Florida are smaller, and they actually wash everything first. It's funny because a couple of them, and it's not all over because I've traveled the country, so I know it's not everywhere, but you like walk in and you can smell like, how like a nice scent of the whole store smells like your fresh, clean laundry. So I know which stores do that. And a lot of them here do, but I haven't had any issues. Now Junk Monkey with Julian's Kitty Cat Fun, AKA Willow's Toy. I almost got another one. We have 3 cats and 4 dogs. And I used to have Manx cats with no tails, and I had 2 of them. They both lived to 17 and passed of old age. And Jess, gorgeous, if any of you know her, she got a Manx, and I'm like, I need another one. And I found, that's so cute. I found one in Tennessee, and my daughter was ready to go get it from the Humane Society. And Brad's like, you do not need an, I'm like, okay, I will not. So I refrained. We will, all 3 of our cats here we've had over 5 years. We've had them a long time. Pig and his self keeps getting in fights and getting abscesses because he wants no other cat on our 11 acres. No cat may come here, or he thinks he has to fight. So he's like this old battle scar cat. And yeah, so, all right. Here is your dolphin, Chunk Monkey. I'm rambling a lot tonight. Here you go. Beach Walker, thank you so much. And Beach Walker, listen, it's so funny because in your Whatnot shows, and I'm sure Danni and Tiffany was selling from the videos, when you get stuff like, and Beach Walker is like me, like loves the beach, loves the ocean. So I had a couple of like ocean jewelry pieces, almost like, you know, like the sea turtle and stuff. And so she knows I'm like, Beach Walker, this is for you when I do my Whatnot sales, because I know like some people who will like certain pieces. So thank you so much. I appreciate you coming in Whatnot sales. And I like when I know what people want. You know, it's nice to be like, oh, so-and-so would really love this and get it. So thank you so much. I enjoy you as well. Here's your dolphin. Dun, 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 dun. I'm going to throw this up here. Sue Vintage Vagabond Vins is amazing. She says she agrees 100% Whatnot is a blast and doing great on there. She has sales Monday through Friday. I've seen her do some weekend ones. She's one of the ones that makes me be like, okay, I can do 3 days a week. Like, Kat, you can do this. So she does almost all brooches though. So she's really, really specialized on there. And she has great sales and she does them 5 days a week. John says we got up to 200 likes and again, gave everybody some membership. So thank you. Cindy, I see you. I'm finding one more question and then we will let the ladies and Julian tell you goodbye. I actually made it to 9:30. I'm surprised because I didn't make it till 8 o'clock until after 9. So I caught up pretty decent. Tiger Allen, I don't know if the kid's from Washington, D.C. I just was told he spoke at FlipCon, and I think he's 11 or 12, but he's doing like some legit buying from what I see. I followed him on there. We need to see. We had his name that we had on here with us, Julian. What was his name? I have his coffee cup right there. We had another young gentleman who was 12 or 13 come on the show because I think that's amazing, these kids having that drive and that motivation. So maybe I'll try and message him. If he's on the East Coast, it might be too late for school is the only thing. I'm trying to find the last question. I'm scrolling. I see spam. I'm assuming somebody got it by now.
It did.
Hold on. The questions just stopped and the chat started. Yes, Constance, it probably, but don't call me because that might put me in a bad mood. But you could message me and ask me if I'm in a good mood or not. Okay. I don't know if we can answer this, but does eBay penalize you for not entertaining offers and not making a sale?
I think the only time they penalize you is for not responding to offers or questions. They don't like that. So I would suggest that if you receive an offer within a few hours, you send some sort of counter or response.
Actually,
Is that right, Danni?
I found out at the Boss Reseller Remix that not responding to questions like messages does not hurt you whatsoever.
Oh.
Because I had to find out, because I get a lot of people who message me through eBay for things that are not eBay related, and I don't want to get in trouble. So I usually just I just shove those off. I don't want to encourage by answering them. And so I found out that, in fact, no penalization whatsoever for that.
Does that go the same for actual monetary offers?
I don't know. I would think, I think it's in your best interest to respond to an offer one way or another. But I wouldn't worry about it penalizing you. I've let offers just go, just sit there and fade off into the sunset.
That's good about the questions, because I get that too. Like, people ask like questions that are not pertaining to anything, and it's like, and they watch the video, but they message you on eBay, and it's like,
right,
message me on YouTube. Like, I'll get back to you on YouTube. I'm not going to get back to you here. So I'm going to go with them. I have no idea. Well, we do know about the one, but I don't want them to sit for long.
Yeah, I don't feel like you get penalized, but I think if you respond to it, that would kick the algorithm up because it would be activity in your store. So I don't know if you get penalized for not doing it, but I think doing it could help you for sure. I'm putting this as the last comment of the night. Scott would like Tiffany's voice on his GPS. So there's another income stream for you, Tiffany. You just need to go record like, in 5 miles, turn left.
It's so funny. People tell me all the time that I should have another channel reading children's books.
See, there you go. Pig. Oh, he's getting into my IKEA bag. He's like climbing into all the IKEA bags now.
Dozer did that yesterday, or something about those IKEA bags.
he's like in my pile of IKEA bags. Luckily, there's nothing breakable there. All right, let me go ahead and make these ladies big so they can tell you bye, and let them. There went the IKEA bag. And let them tell you bye. Here is Miss Tiffany.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And thank you, Kat and Julian, for having me on yet again. It's really always so much fun to come on and talk to you. Please go ahead, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, Thrifting Vegas. I drop videos Thursdays and Sundays. I'm also now on Whatnot. My next sale is Friday evening Pacific time at 4 p.m. And I have another one scheduled for this coming Sunday at 2 p.m. So hopefully I will see you there.
All right, here is Miss Danni.
I do daily content on my YouTube channel, and I have some very, very exciting content coming soon. We're in the filming process of it, but you're just going to have to come over, subscribe, and watch for what's coming. I can tell you there will be many other people involved in this as well. It has to do with the new store. I do my Whatnot sales on Mondays and Saturdays. I have committed to adding the Saturday slot for at least, I'm trying it out for at least a month. I will be doing 2 sales a week. I generally do them at 3 p.m. Pacific time, although I do have a couple little wonky time frames in there coming up, just because this weekend is the Vintage Christmas Pageant, and I'm partaking in that on Saturday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. And other than that, you know where to find me.
Perfect. Julian, every other day, what else is coming up?
Yeah, every other day. We're going to have, obviously, when we go up to New York, and we're driving, so we're going to have video of all that, like whatever thrift store we hit. We don't know if we're going up the coast. We don't know if we're going straight there. We'll make it interesting. We're going to just have a really good time. Yeah, we'll just be driving everywhere. We might not come home for a while. We don't know yet. But every other day, we found some super good things in the last 2 weeks of yard sales, probably the best all year long. So those videos are coming out, and I edited them today, and they're all very long. They're like, I do 10-minute videos, and people are like, you need to do longer videos. You guys get 20-minute videos for the next 7 videos. It's a lot of stuff to go over. It's really good stuff too.
Perfect. And next week is sunny. Las Vegas, along with Yoho Boso. Oh my gosh, Yoso Boho. These names, some names like Yoso Boho and Sunny Las Vegas next week. And I see we have one last super chat from I Buy Chit, Mr. Christopher. He missed the show. It is okay, Christopher. I appreciate your support. Christopher is amazing to the community. I'm going to give him a dolphin, and we will see you guys. I have a Whatnot sale tomorrow at 8:30. I have some really nice sterling Native American rings and a cuff by Michael Negrain, who is a known artist that will be in there. Again, 5 giveaways every show, so you don't have to buy anything. Come win some stuff. And then Friday, I will have another video, and I'll probably follow Tiffany's Whatnot on Friday and Sunday. So tomorrow, Friday, Sunday on Whatnot for me. Come do some Christmas shopping, win some stuff. And yeah, so I'm going to give Mr. Chris a dolphin, and then we will see you guys next week.